Hello and welcome to a special episode of the Necromundown.
Woo! You can't see, but I'm dancing.
Reveal reaction time?
Yeah, kind of.
That's right. If you saw on Saturday, we had GW's preview at Dallas Open. What was that?
The not Age of Sigmar preview.
Correct. You guys know AOS is coming, so here's everything else.
Yeah.
And for the first time in a long time, Necromunda got its due. And we now know what the future of Necromunda is, probably for the next 2.5 years.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it. It's Necromunda Hive Secundus. So, here's the box. Really quickly wrapping up the lore. Hive Primus is, aka Prime Hive, is where most of the story takes place. It's the main spot of Necromunda. Hive Secundus, second hive, was like the other hive that was super important. But a really long time ago, basically a tech priest was like, let's do some gene stealering. And that went bad, so they nuked it from orbit.
That's fair.
They nuked it from orbit and built a really big wall around it.
They should have just accepted the four-armed emperor.
The Imperial Fists got involved. That was not an option. Damn. When the Space Marine shows up and says, hey, I heard you have an alien problem, you're like, no, I don't, as the nukes are falling on them. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
It's already too late.
This Imperial Fists, who, by the way, remember, have their chapter monastery at the top of Necromunda's hive. We're like, you fix this or we will. So he's like, I'm going to fix it. And he kind of fixed it. So the hive has been closed off. It's the source of all the gene stealers on Necromunda. That's why there's no Tyranids that have ever actually shown up and eaten anything.
Yeah, that it is the reason that there is a Xenos race here and it hasn't been wiped out is because, it's been closed off.
Yeah, and it looks like what the story is saying is that Hive Secundus is a place where rich uphivers like to put on super fancy suits of exo armor, hire some gangers, and go in there and just have a ball murdering things.
That makes more sense. Do you want to know a Photoshop I saw?
What?
This box, but it said Necromunda eat the rich. That makes way more sense now.
Yeah, that's why. So that's what these traps are. These are called Spryers. On the last Aranthius Succession book, spoiler for that if you have not heard. Okay, here's a spoiler. Lady Helmoir, Lord Helmoir's daughter, who was ruling, got kicked out and found one of her brothers in one of these suits. And so she has fled into the hive. So presumably the story is also going to continue in that way. So these are Spryers, a.k.a. or Spire Hunters. Basically, it's Spire with a Y.
Yeah.
Basically, these are super rich guys from Uphive. So House Oris is related to House Vansar, but it's like the rich... Vansar is, a big gang house. Oris is the people above them who kind of control them.
Gotcha.
For Orlok, it's House Ranlow. All of the gang houses have a more important house who kind of controls them.
Interesting.
And is the rich folk version. You've seen them in their alliances in game.
That's true.
So these are rich folks, basically. You can tell because they have a carotid and super, super expensive armor that has been airbrush highlighted or something to the extreme. So these are Spires, Spire Hunters. Basically, they're super rich guys from the hive.
Yep.
They hire these knuckleheads.
Yeah.
So this is what I mean by saying this is the future of Necromunda. Because we had Necromunda 2017.
Yes.
And then what did we have? We had all the prospects and alternate champions.
Yep. We had the House of books that introduced the second box.
The way Games Workshop runs their business is we release a thing and then we release a new thing for everything within that thing. Right? Everybody gets one. Then it was Ash Wastes. And everybody, except Locke, got a vehicle or a brute or something.
Vehicle equivalent.
Something to put them in the Ash Waste.
Yeah.
Something for them to sell you.
Yeah.
And this is what they're selling us next.
Yep.
So these are called Tech Hunters. So these are Vansar. This is a new kit, by the way. This is not an upgrade sprue.
Yeah, this has a whole bunch of new stuff in it.
You can tell by the posing and by the bodies that this is not just an upgrade sprue, which I'm actually a really big fan of that. I agree. It's not just like an Ash Waste upgrades, because that was kind of boring, and also Resin and Forge World.
Yeah, they basically did the very, very small release with the upgrades through, and then the vehicle or mount or whatever.
Yep, first Vansar sniper we've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
I like these models, obviously, because I just got into Vansar. Of course, I just built a Vansar gang, and then this happens.
Yeah, and then they're like, here's more Vansar. And I've talked about on the channel, Vansar was my first gang, so I also like these models a lot.
So before we dive into the Gene Stealers, let's kind of just go over what that means, is that my guess is that every house will get their upper house Spire Hunters.
Sure.
And a clan Spire Hunter version of
Interesting.
themselves.
So they're going with potentially 2 boxes.
Or one box with both.
True, because there's only 8 of the guys.
Yes.
So it could be
8 Tech Hunters.
Yeah. That's true.
2 guys and some kind of...
It does say 3 diverse factions?
Yes. Because it's the
Interesting.
Gene Stealers and Tyramites are one faction, and then the Hive Scum are another faction.
Okay. Gotcha.
Which I guess we'll get into that next.
We will.
So, of course, then we also get new Gene Stealers. Now, yes, we just got new Gene Stealers, but what about second new Gene Stealers? Sorry, I mean Secundus.
Secundus new Gene Stealers. I absolutely love these models.
Now, that doesn't mean a lot coming from you, because
Nope.
you love Gene Stealers, and you love Tyranids, and especially Gene Stealers.
And especially Gene Stealers.
I don't like Gene Stealers. I love these models.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, because we could do a black and white flashback to when the other ones were coming out, and you're like, these are my least favorite things to come out of this book.
But these,
Oh my god,
these are a great combination of terrifying but also rooted in 40k. Like, they're still Gene Stealers, but they've made them malnourished and gross and fungus-y.
Yeah,
These guys, the floaters guys in the background, are like kind of,
they're fine.
they're almost too comedic for me. But these our editor Cody called them myconoid,
Yes,
like fungal Gene Stealers, and I love that.
the it gives me very much The Last of Us.
Yeah,
Thoughts,
what is it, Corruptius? I can never pronounce that. It's the fungus that takes over insects and
Cordyceps.
Thank you. Which
So
is a thing in Tyranid lore, right? Because like there are certain organisms that parasite onto other organisms to make them guns or whatever. Now, these Gene Stealers are called malstrain Gene Stealers. So, which means because the Patriarch, normally Gene Stealer corruption works by the Patriarch infects people and it spreads into a cult and then takes over the planet, and the Tyranids show up and eat everybody and everybody loses.
Yeah.
This, because of the combination of the experiments that Mr. Tech Priest was doing and the giant orbital bombardment, they're messed up. They're malstrain Gene Stealers. So I kind of like that lore that even if these guys took over, they probably wouldn't summon Tyranids.
Yeah, because it says like they're so corrupted that the Tyranids don't even want them anymore.
Right.
Which is a reason not to put them into 40k. But like I love the normally the Gene Stealers, eventually the Tyranids will come and everything will be fine. But these are like they've been sitting there for so long, and you know
they're just super corrupted. And they showed some art of the pure strain, the father, the Patriarch. And I hope that we get that model eventually.
Oh, I didn't see that.
It was in like a brief shot of one of the books, and it was really good looking. I hope we get that model. And I guess we should also say that this is the kind of the downside.
Yeah.
This is our third faction, which is the Hive Scum, but Gene Stealered.
Yeah. Hive Scum with Gene Stealer heads on.
This is the existing Hive Scum kit, and they do say this. They don't try and mislead you. This is the existing Hive Scum kit with Gene Stealer heads. Now, I will say that as far as Gene Stealer heads go, those are great.
Yeah, and they are unique. They're not just like we took them from the other box. And
no, they're more alien.
Yeah.
They're more messed up. They kind of remind me of the XCOM 2. I don't know if you ever played XCOM.
I've never played XCOM.
XCOM 2's hybrid human-alien soldiers.
Interesting.
Which might have been referencing this.
Fair.
They're very nice looking. I hope they actually sell these heads alone.
That would be cool.
Because I want them to exist for other Gene Stealer conversion projects.
You don't need more Hive Scum?
I literally have like 30 Hive Scum, dude.
I know you do. That's why I said that.
And I won't be getting these guys bonus. But I just like, this would be great to put on your Gene Stealer corrupted game.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And obviously they don't fit in as humans very well because they're malstrain corrupted.
Yeah.
So they can still spread the cult. Like, I like that.
Yeah, that looks really sick.
So this is the Hive Secundus rule book. So this is going to be an entirely different rule set, kind of like Ash Wastes. Now, let's talk about what is in here and what we're going to get going forward. Because this is what's in here. It's a board. It's obviously Zona Mortalis E.
Yep.
And this says it's a linked campaign. My guess is it's not just a 2-player campaign. It's a campaign you can play with your entire group.
Sure.
Kind of like Dark Uprising. Where Dark Uprising was technically a 2-player campaign, but...
Yeah. Well, when we got the Ash Waste box, the Ash Waste rulebook had the Ash Waste rules in it, and a whole new campaign for that. So this is basically, if you're used to Kill Team, this is the next season of Necromundown.
Yes.
Which we thought we were going to be getting for a little while now, but we didn't really have confirmation until this.
Yes, and this looks like this is the next season. So we'll show this picture here because this also shows something that's coming next. Those walls in the background do not currently exist.
Oh, really?
Kits. No, those are ruined and erect looking. And that's not just me saying that, and they didn't do that themselves, because if we scroll to the bottom of the article, loads more to show you. More from both the Spires and the Malstrain. So We'll get more of that. New ruined Zone Mortalis terrain and a new book.
New Zone Mortalis terrain. That has not happened.
Ruined Zone Mortalis terrain.
I mean, I know, but like they have not put out new Zone Mortalis terrain since 2017.
Right.
When they redid the whole game.
Right. So we're going to get new Zone Mortalis.
Yeah.
Like ruined Zone Mortalis, which is great.
Yeah, I agree.
Presumably you'll be able to replicate this kind of board because I bet you that's a 24-inch board that is
Yeah, probably.
2 tiles.
Yeah.
Use those doors. So that means I'm guessing that we are going we kind of joked about this when we saw the reveal trailer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. We had the ash wastes. They sold you your vehicles. Now let's go to a place where you can't use them.
Yes, 100%.
Drive your rock grinder into here and just keep
And get stuck in a doorway.
That's what the rock grinder's for.
You know what? Fair enough. Gene Stealers are the only ones? I mean, I know everybody else can use it, but I don't care. I'm just going to ignore that for
Well, you
now.
don't get a new combat patrol, that's for sure. Heyo! We'll talk about that in a different video.
Josh hurt my feelings.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. So, how do you feel about us going into... We've had a campaign that was enforced outdoors.
Yeah.
Now we're going to have a go inside it's raining campaign.
Yeah. It's just a little acid rain. It's fine. Okay. Ash Wastes was a cool concept, and I like that they did it.
Mm-hmm.
I did not like in the Ash Wastes rulebook that every single mission was outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer indoor fights, but outdoors are interesting sometimes.
Yes.
Which they got to in the campaign book, the Aranthian Succession. So I personally think I will like this more.
I'm kind of on the same boat with you.
Yeah.
I will... Necromunda to me is in tight, cramped, enclosed spaces, not Mad Max.
Yeah.
I mean, Fury Road was a great movie, but unfortunately sometimes you got to go inside.
Fury Road was the best movie.
Probably. So I am looking forward to this a
Yeah, me
lot.
too.
I like that you get 16 dice. So that's 2 sets of 8.
Yeah. Honestly, them being black and teal is very cool.
One set's black and teal, and one set is like lighter blue and teal. I think they're 2 different color dice sets.
I thought they were just swapped. It's black pips, black outside.
Right, yeah, but they are 2 different dice
Yeah,
sets.
they're 2 different dice sets, which is the old ones came with. They
Yep.
had the yellow ones.
Looks like we still get our measuring tool, our templates, blah, blah, blah. So what I don't anticipate is a big rules rewrite.
I agree.
Here's my question. Are the tech hunters something added to your gang or something that you use in this rulebook?
Interesting. I think they're going to be I don't want to say similar to Ash Wastes because all of that was vehicles, but I think it's just going to be like a list of extra things that you can do because there's stuff in here that Vansar can't use.
Right.
Like, what the heck is that?
That's a medic. Gotta be. Look, he's got a chain, an injector. It's either a medic or a guy gathering fluids.
I'm going to go with gathering fluids. And then some of this stuff is just las guns and scopes, and that looks like a rad gun.
That is a rad gun, yeah, because it doesn't have the...
It's not a grav gun.
Not a grav
They're
gun.
very similar looking. So I think this might just be an add-on type thing where it's like, here is a list of extra things you can use if you're in Hive Secundus.
This is a combi flamer rock cutter.
Oh, that is... I honestly did not notice the flamer on the bottom. That thing is rad. Okay, sorry. No pun intended. That thing is awesome.
Is it? I know that might be overkill.
Nah.
That guy's gonna be 400 credits.
You gotta grab onto him and then turn that flamer on. Whomp.
I call these my cooking tongs.
You gotta slap them together, make sure they work.
Aesthetically, I do like the way these guys look.
Yeah.
It's worth noting that they're a little different than other Vansar painted wise. Like they painted these guys darker and with more gold, which is interesting. Still very, pale as Vansar are. Yeah, on the one hand, more rules bloat, more models to choose from is always kind of a meh.
Yeah.
Like you eventually get so much that it becomes a problem that's already a problem in Necromunda. So I almost kind of hope that it's like if you're playing in this Secundus, you bring these guys.
Yeah.
Because these are the only guys who are idiot enough to go in there.
Or rich enough.
Or rich enough, yeah. Well, no, these guys are the guys rich enough to go in there. These guys are the guys idiots enough to follow them. Equipped enough.
Equipped enough.
Now, let's talk the big bugbear. How much is that box going to cost?
Oh my god. So Ash Waste was 300.
Ash Waste was 300, but what did Ash Waste have that this did not?
So Ash Waste had 4 boxes plus a lot of terrain.
And
Big terrain.
GW, I'm going to say it, overvalues their terrain.
Oh yeah, they do.
Especially that terrain. We've talked about how those Howl blocks are stupid expensive, right?
Yeah, they are.
This, I'm going to hope this lives around the 250 mark.
That's fair.
Which is still more than it probably should be, but that seems what GW... I mean, GW is increasing all its prices, right?
Yeah.
But it comes with a full rule book. It's not going to be $200.
No, it's not gonna be
because this
200.
comes with. Well, here's the thing. I can't see it from here, but that doesn't look like.
That looks paperback.
That looks paperback, but this one looks.
That one's hardback.
Hardback.
Maybe that's a bad Photoshop job.
What I just hope is that it's not a partial rulebook.
Oh,
But
yeah.
they didn't do that with Ashwaste.
They did not.
And they didn't do that with Dark Uprising.
They did.
They put the
You're
full
right.
rulebooks in there. So hopefully it's the full rulebook. If it's the full rulebook, it's probably going to be $250.
That's fair. I could see that because there's less terrain, and honestly, okay, I want to say one less box, but it has the Gene Stealer guys, the Hive Scum, and then both the other things. So technically the same amount of boxed models.
Yes.
But less terrain. So yeah, I could see 250.
Because I'm going to guess that this is a box and this is a box. I don't think these are.
I don't think they come together.
Yeah.
God, I love those suits though. Those look so cool.
2 complete gangs from 3 diverse factions: Spire Hunters, 8 Vansar Tech, Mouse Range Gene Stealers. And I'm just wondering where they draw the line of what the diverse factions are.
Yeah.
Like, it's also possible that it's a Spire Hunters and these guys are on the same side until they're not. Like,
so when I initially saw this, I didn't know that the Spire Hunters were Vansar but upgraded. So I thought they were their own faction.
And that's the thing about the way those house factions work, is that they're not 1-to-1.
Right.
Like, not all Vansar gangs answer to House Orus.
Sure.
Or or House Orus isn't the right term. I keep saying that. But like, not all Orlok gangs answer to House Randlow. They're closely connected, but it's not a 1-to-1.
Sure.
So they could be.
Yeah.
But they also could be involved, and I don't know, because this also, by the way, answers a rumor engine.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because we saw that.
I forgot about that.
Battle suit thing. The one that everyone said was the sister's battle suit, and was not.
No, it's not. Necromundown.
Yeah. Because, like, they still have little spiders on there.
I think that claw on the left-hand one also was a rumor.
It is, yes. We thought it was a new Skaven model.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
We were wrong.
Oh, I mean, only if you don't replace his head with the rat head.
These would make excellent rat ogres.
Oh, they would. Although the new rat ogre, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. So that's it for this one. I am obviously very excited.
Yep.
This is the next wave of things they want to sell you for Necromunda.
Yep.
Which obviously it came, there's no rest for the wicked.
No.
The way GW works, it's like, okay, we're done with Ash Waste and let's go on. Go. Buy more things.
Yep, we need more money. Go.
As far as how this affects your groups, you might want to consider. We have to see how this is integrated.
Yeah, we have no idea.
If this is something that any gang can bring, you probably want to wait until these are all out before Vansar players just start
Winning more than they already are.
showing up with this guy
No.
and cutting your corpse grinder guy in half as he burns them.
Sounds fun though.
Oh yeah, for Vansar players.
But yes, I am also very excited about this, being a Gene Stealer Cults player and a Vansar player.
Yeah.
God, those models are so sick.
Now the other problem is that will this change the rules for Gene Stealer Cult?
I hope so.
Because Gene Stealer Cults are a faction in need of an upgrade in Necromunda. Their rules have not aged well.
Right.
If we have new rules that just upgrade and replace the old one, I would not be sad.
I agree.
Especially if it also let them take some of these guys.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Because I don't see these guys functioning as a gang by themselves.
No, probably not. Unless these are their champions.
I'm going down to the trading post. Do you want anything?
Did you pass your cool check?
Yes.
Cut to this guy in a trench coat and a mustache.
Yeah. And they don't even have equipment though. Like they can't
Right,
get
yeah.
upgrades.
Right. I don't know. Maybe he gets sharper claws. Right. So I don't see these guys being a faction by themselves.
Yeah, I agree.
In main Gene Stealer cults.
Sure.
So we'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah, we will see.
Until then, we'll keep you updated.
Bye bye.